I want to switch into a bit more depth.
All right.
You know, you're a really deep person. And, you know, most people don't really hear or understand and say, oh, he's the unstoppable surfer. And if you haven't watched or connect with Brian's Instagram account, go to Unstoppable Surfer on Instagram, because you'll really get to see about what it is, the type of surf that you actually do. It's not just a hobby anymore. So
No.
going back to my first statement early on the show about Jerry Lopez said, surfing is life.
Yeah.
Internalize that for us. Tell me what that means to you. Not just I have to go out because it makes me more complete, but like when you surf, what goes on in the water for 90 minutes?
Yeah. And you
Bring
know,
us into that world.
I will. And what's crazy for me is I actually don't have to physically do the action every single day, but me just being there in the presence of Mother Nature, and like, you know, if I'm not doing it, I can like be watching it, be exercising. But for me, that's where I'm in like my happy zone. And I can relate so many things. Let me share a story to where surfing is life, and it's crazy. And you remember this, like, well, you might have. Let's do the photo with the gash and stuff. Surfing is life.
So hold on.
Right.
There's a photo that he's showing you
right.
where he got his head cut off, right? He got his head literally cut open. And when you look at that, you're like, oh, there's so many injuries and dangers that happen when you surf. Well, that injury actually happened because of an outcome, because of a decision that you made. And we can relate the choices you make in surfing
Absolutely.
to the choices we make in life, that they can actually be detrimental, right? Surf is a little more different, right? You're underwater, you're dealing with elements.
Right.
So what happened? Why did that picture look scary and gory, but there was a lot more to it? Like, what was going in your mind that what caused that outcome of that injury?
And this happens so many times. It's the hesitation, pulling back, not committing 100%. It's so relatable to, you know, even a relationship with us, with what we do in business, where you're like, you're going and then you pull back. And if you see, there's another photo of me riding a big wave from 2009, 10 years ago in Bali. It's still like up there with one of my biggest waves. But at that, when you commit, when it's 20 foot plus, there's no pulling back, because that little hesitation will get you flying over, and then you know
you get injured.
You get injured, and then with the thing in in surfing, there's not just the injuries but death, and it's like you have
to. It's a real outcome.
Oh, absolutely, and you know, like the waves that I'm surfing anymore, like now those are like if you make some wrong moves, death can be. But it's part of the business too, right?
Exactly.
It's like
you can lose everything. It's so relatable. Like you're either going to choose to tiptoe around, or you're going to choose to go for it and go all in. But knowing at the end, there's a risk in everything that we do, right? We either go all in. Yeah, we might lose our money. We've done that before. We invested everything. We lost it all. But guess what? We became bigger and better people.
It was a learning lesson.
On surfing, the outcomes are a little different, right? So what goes in your mind at that point? So there's a picture of you at the very top of this wave, right? So you have to make a choice at that moment.
Yeah.
You have to just go for it, because if you don't go for it, what happens? You're pitched, they call it pitching in surfing, you're pitched and you literally are getting crushed by this wave.
Yeah.
So at that moment, like what goes through your mind in that moment?
In those moments now, I know what to do. It's a preparation. You don't know exactly when we were learning to surf together, we just kept on going bigger and bigger, and it's just like it's trial and error, right? You're going to fail so many times, and then once you go bigger, you're starting to play with the bigger boys and starting getting some advice, and then it's like you have to drop your head, you don't look back, and you just go, and you have to trust the process. And I think that's so many times it's like you do a lot of coaching for high-end clients, right? And one of the things is everybody wants to do it their own way, but they have to trust the process. Trust, just like for me, now it's like I know what to do, and it's like you have to commit, you have to go. And
yeah, I mean, and we use this statement a lot, is how you do one thing is how you do everything. So there's pillars in life that you have to, relate on and rely on. And if you choose in this one area of life that you're only going to go halfway or pull back every time, that's how you're going to do it all. So it's like going for it. This whole idea of being a business owner and, unstoppable surfer, unstoppable mama. It's like we go for it, unstoppable family, because we know the outcome could be, what's the worst thing that could happen? Yeah, you can die, but you can also die walking across the street.